Good afternoon to all. I welcome the participants to the session on strategic management. So today we will discuss about the strategic framework. As you know, the strategy is a critical aspect of any organization as it helps to align the resources that is available in the organization, the capabilities as well as the competencies to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. Strategic management process, the strategic management process involves 4 key stages, which are the first one is termed as the analysis, the stage of analysis, that is analyzing or scanning the external environment. Then second stage is termed as the formulation of strategy. The third stage is termed as the implementation of the strategy. And the fourth and the final stage of strategic management process is evaluation and control measures. Each stage is critical for achieving the desired results and ensuring that the organization remains competitive. If you see during analysis stage, it involves analyzing the internal as well as the external environmental factors of the organization. When we talk about internal, it is the internal factors of the organization that includes the organization structure, the organization culture, as well as the resources that is available in the organization. When we talk about external environment, it includes the micro level environmental factor, that is the analysis of the stakeholders, impact on the business, and the macro environmental factors, that is political, economic, socio-cultural, technological, demographic, etc. The internal analysis focuses on the strength as well as the weaknesses of the organization, while the external analysis considers the opportunities as well as the threats in the external environment of the marketplace. During formulation stage, it involves developing the strategies to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. This stage involves selecting the most appropriate strategy that is based on the results of the analysis which was carried out. And next to formulation stage comes the stage of implementation, that is implementing. It involves putting the strategies into action. This stage requires the effective two-way communication, coordination, and management of resources available in the organization to ensure that the strategies are executed successfully. So after implementation, the next stage in the planning process is evaluation. The evaluation stage involves the monitoring and measuring of the effectiveness of the strategies. This stage helps to identify any shortcomings or opportunities for improvement and to adjust the strategies accordingly, mainly evaluating the performance and comparing with the standard that is set. And after evaluation, and based on the evaluation, the company would like to take control measures, corrective action, or remedial measures. And next to that is the continuous process of improvement. This strategic management process is an ongoing process that requires continuous improvement in a gradual manner, and organizations need to regularly review and update their strategies by every quarterly review, or as they deem fit, periodic review is carried out to remain competitive and achieve their desired goals. The commonly used management tool, that is SWOT analysis, is a very common management tool for conducting an internal as well as the external analysis of the organization. This tool helps to identify the organization's strengths, weaknesses, and the opportunities and threats which can inform the development of the strategies. There is another management tool that is used, that is termed as the Porter's Five Forces. The Porter's Five Forces is another widely used management tool to analyze the competitive environment. This tool helps to identify the intensity of competition in the marketplace. That includes the bargaining power of the suppliers, the buyers, the threat of the new entrants and substitutes, and other factors that can impact the organization's competitiveness. However, the level of impact and influence of these forces will vary depending on the situation of the industry prevailing at any point of time. So they can influence accordingly on the performance of the business. Then next comes the concept of monitoring and control. Monitoring and control are the critical for ensuring that the strategies are being implemented effectively and the progress is being made towards achieving the goals and objectives of the organization. This involves setting the performance metrics, measuring the progress, and making adjustment as and when needed. The concept of strategic leadership that is important for guiding the organization through the strategic management process. This involves the setting the vision, that is the future plan of the organization, and direction for the organization in which it has to move forward, the communicating effectively with all the stakeholders of the organization and inspiring and motivating thereby to the employees to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. To see the strategic management process refers to the following activities: envisioning a desirable future position for the organization and stating the base value of the organization, that is the core value or the value system that is set by the management, then analyzing the external as well as the internal environment of the organization based on the environmental scanning. The organization would like to know and use the various management tools which will help in deciding the strategic planning, linking the organization's strengths with the environmental opportunities that is available from time to time, and taking decisions regarding the allocation of resources that is available in the organization, formulating the alternate strategies and selecting the most feasible strategy and implementing the selected strategy, and based on implementation the management of the organization would like to know what is the outcome, and hence the assessment and evaluation of the implemented strategy is carried out to find what is the difference between the gap between the target and the actual performance that has taken place during a financial year. And according to that, according to the gap, they would like to take some corrective remedial measures to control the situation and also to take as a preventive measures for the subsequent financial year. Taking the corrective measures as and when required. If you see the line diagram, it clearly shows the process of strategic management. The strategic intent, that is the management plan, which leads to strategic analysis, that is thorough analysis of the environment, both internal as well as external environmental scanning. After that, the company would like to formulate the appropriate strategy and they will find to see which alternate strategy is the most suitable and relevant so far the organization and the environment is concerned. And based on that, based on the appropriate alternate strategy, they will put it into action, that is the stage of implementation. And after implementation, then comes the stage of strategic evaluation of the performance and taking control measures accordingly. If you see the hierarchy of strategic intent, then first, based on the vision, which is elaborated in the vision statement, which the company's future plan will lead to decide the core values and the purpose, as well as Subsequently, company based on that would like to know what is the present status in terms of business operations, which and in terms of product and service which they are going to offer, that is the elaborated in the mission statements. And based on that, the company would like to set the objectives clearly for each and every functional departments. And that is objectives will help in putting them into action by appropriate strategy. You see the futures of the vision, that is the state of position of an organization wants to achieve in future. The futuristic picture of an organization which guides and gives the direction in which it should move. The moment from current to the future position. It is a long-term concept, approach, and orientation. It decides the strategic path of an organization, and the vision provides the structured path to an organization, enabling to focus on the pre-decided future position. If you see the traits of vision statement, it gives direction in which the business must move, that is directional. It should be feasible. The vision must be feasible as per the situation, and it should be flexible, that is adjustable to the changing situation from time to time, and the vision must be unique. It is been elaborated in the vision statements, and it must inspire the employees with set of core values, which an role model example of the management of the organization. And the vision statement should bring the clarity. If you see the purpose of vision statement, the vision statement, no doubt, it is a guiding force to the organization for moving ahead. It is structure strategies, links to in different stages. It is also a well-defined workforce. Vision also links to the motivational factors, which is very much essential for the stakeholders, and also it is image of the organization. It gives a reflection of the corporate image. If you see the advantages or the benefits of vision, it fosters a culture of experimentation, and it promotes long-term thinking or long-term orientation of the organization's business functions. And also it fosters a culture of risk-taking. As you know, no risk, no business. A certain level of risk is very much needed for any type of business. And also it is used for the benefit of people in large, the society. And it makes organization competitive, how to face the challenges of competition in any industry. And it represents the integrity, that is the moral values or the honesty of working. It inspires and motivates the people, that is the stakeholders in the business. If you see the elements of mission statement, the mission statement includes a distribution network across the wide geographical area, and mission statement includes the core competencies, that is the taking advantage or leverage out of the strength areas of the organization, that is the competitive strength, the core values of the organization, which is set by the company's management. The process of is a system driven that tells the conversion of the raw material to the finished product, that is input to output, and also the mission statement reflects what products or service company has to offer to the marketplace, and it is also linked to the target market, that is the target set of customers they have chosen, for whom they have carefully designed and developed the product and related or associated services. If you see the features of effective mission statement, it should be achievable, and the mission statement must be easily understood by the stakeholders of the organization, and the mission statement must be clear and specific, and the mission statement also should be aspire, that is the efforts to attain the goal. Then if you see the traits of an effective objective, the objective that is set by each and every functional department of the organization has to be precise. The objective has to should be clearly stated. The objective which can be measured in a measurable form. The objective should be logical, and it should be relevant and practical. The objectives should be consistent with the mission that is set by the organization, and also the objective of the produce outcomes. What is the outcome of following the objectives by each and every functional department? If you see the differences between the objectives and the goal, the parameters that we need to compare with respect to degree, the objectives are specific in nature, whereas goals in broader aspects. With respect to the time frame, the objectives is a short-term concept, whereas the goals are long-term concept. And if you see the impact, it is the objectives, it is relates to the internal environment, whereas with respect to goals, the impact is on external environment. You see the measurement, it is objectives are mostly quantitative, whereas goal refers to qualitative in nature. If you see the need for establishing the objectives, it is an yardstick to measure the performance of various functional departments of an organization or the strategic business units of the organization that is located in different places or different product-wise business units, and also the need for motivating force. The objectives there to pursue its vision as well as the mission. And objectives relates to relationship of the organization with its internal as well as the external environment. It provides a basis for decision making, and hence it is an inevitable part of the planning stage. If you see the areas of objective setting, it is meant for, no doubt, getting profit out of conducting business operations. It is also linked to marketing the product and services of the organization, the in activities in micro level, and also the objectives are for increasing the productivity, the efficiency of production, which improves the quality and helps reducing the cost by better implementing, adopting better technologies. The objective setting for producing and offering quality product and quality services. The objective is also for social cause, that is to social contribution of the organization, which is reflected through the corporate social responsibility of the organization, and also the objective in terms of financials, activities and method of the organization. The objective is also for setting the manpower, that is what is the manpower plan versus what is the actual status. Accordingly, the action can be taken to internally deploy and balance the manpower or recruit from the external marketplace. The characteristics of corporate objectives relates to hierarchy, that is hierarchical setup of the organization, which includes the different levels, managerial levels, the reporting system, line of command, all the details is reflected by the hierarchical setup that is already displayed. The multiplicity, that is the various components involved in the system, is clearly mentioned. And the objectives are specific time horizon, that is within the time frame allotted, the review is made to know what is the progress of the actual performance or the progress based on the objectives. And the objectives must be attainable. The objectives that is set by the organization must be clearly understood by the stakeholders, that is understandable, and also the objectives in a precise and concrete manner. The objectives are set in spite of the limitations and constraints of the organization in terms of resources. If you see the strategic analysis, that is analyzing the external environment, the major components here are conducting the environmental analysis, that is thorough scanning of the internal as well as the external environment. In external environment, and again the micro level as well as macro level environment scanning, then assessing the existing strategies of the organization, and also evaluate the various strategic alternatives, options that is available, and based on that, the company would like to accept and adopt the most viable and relevant strategy in context to the situation. If you see the strategy different stages during formulation, first it refers to developing the mission, vision, and objectives. And based on that, the company will conduct a thorough SWOT analysis, that is analyzing the internal and external factors, internal factors being strengths and weaknesses of the organization, and external factor being opportunities and threats in the marketplace. And then also company will find out what are the options of alternate strategies available, and based on that they will select and decide the best possible relevant strategy. The strategies formulated at different levels are the corporate level strategies, that is at the corporate head office of the organization at the CHO, and it mostly includes study of the stability of the organization in terms of business performance and the plan for the future growth and expansion of the business activities. And also the corporate strategy includes the decision for retrenchment depending on the situation that arises from time to time. The next to corporate level strategy is the business level strategies. Here they would like to know the functioning of the strategic business unit, referred as the competitive strategies, and it includes cases like the cost leadership and differentiation and focus. These are the three options of competitive strategies. The company can opt any of the appropriate strategy which they find appropriate. Cost leadership, a company wants to be a cost leader which attracts the price sensitive consumers, or the company can adopt the differentiation strategy, that is irrespective of the cost, how company can do unique in its features, attributes, and benefits associated to their brand of product. And the third one is called the focus strategy. That is you can say it is a hybrid of both. Neither it is cost leader nor it is a differentiation approach. It is in between, that is referred as the focus. And the next level strategy is called as the functional strategies, that is adopted by the functional departments of the organization, that is by the human resource, by the production department, by the marketing department, finance department, etc. And that is a routine decisions for shorter period which helps to develop the core competency for the organization. If you see the objectives, ways to make the choice of the strategy, then the study of corporate portfolio analysis. When the company is producing and marketing simultaneously number of products or having number of business groups, then company has to decide and plan with respect to each and every product wise business groups for bringing efficiency to the overall company as a whole. And the next is the analysis of the competitors. That is the analyzing competitors based on the market intelligence information about the market players, those who are there, exist in the industry, and the details of the strategies that is followed by the leading competitors in the industry. That will help to know what is the exact status and how to move ahead with respect to various factors. And third level of analysis is termed as the industry analysis. Company wants to know what is the status of the industry, what is the in terms of growth rate, in terms of profitability, in terms of level of competition, that is the presence of various market players in the industry, etc. And the thorough scanning about industry will help the company to take the appropriate course of action. If you see the strategic implementation, the various stages involved, starting from setting the goals, then developing the plans, and also the structuring the organization, reorientation, reorganizing time to time, depending on the need and situation. Then company decision for allocating the resources to conduct the business operation for the whole financial year, department wise, that is done in the budget. Then communicating the plans and goals to the stakeholders of the organization, and then motivating the employees and inspiring them for a higher level of dedication and contribution. Then establishing the leadership, that is to manage the business operations efficiently. Let us discuss about the main elements in the process of strategy implementation, that is operationalizing of the strategies, that is interface between the formulation and implementation, and also the institutionalization of the strategies, that is deciding the SOP, because the procedure has to be pre-decided for conducting any activity. That is the sequence of activities to be followed one after the other in order to ensure a quality product or a quality service. That is called the standard operating procedure. And then the stage of evaluation and control measures, evaluating the performance and comparing it with the standard, the benchmark that is set, and finding the gap, and accordingly taking the remedial and control measures to ensure that same is not being repeated in the subsequent financial year. If you see the strategic evaluation and control, it refers to the continuous monitoring of the process, because that will help for bringing the efficiency in the process, converting the input to the output, and also the establishing the standard or the benchmark, which will help in comparing the actuals and taking corrective measures for attaining the goals and closing the gap thereby. It also, the evaluation helps in measuring the performance of all the departments, including the performance of each and every individual employee of the organization, and then taking corrective actions to set it right and to improve upon the situation in the subsequent financial year as a matter of feedback mechanism. With respect to types of organizational control, there is a strategic control based on certain basis or criteria, and also the implementation status, the special alerts that is made for setting the things right, and also the strategic surveillance, that is strong supervision and periodic checking, which will help in rectifying and improving upon the situations. Then operational control involves the activities like budgeting, that is allocation of the fund or the resources to various functional departments for the whole financial year, then scheduling the things as per the timeline, and also the management control system for setting the things right, and also the feedback mechanism which helps in improvement. Is a continuous process of improvement, which is the buzzword of the organization, and the basis of improvement is the valuable feedback that they received. If you see the summary and conclusion remarks for this, is a strategy framework is a high level plan because it is carried out at the corporate head office by the senior corporate officials, including the board of directors, those who are directly involved in policy or the decision making. And it is also a set of guidelines. Guidelines are readily available for reference by the policy manual, which is prepared and kept ready for reference, that an organization creates to achieve its goals and objectives, both the department wise, section wise, as well as for the organization as a whole, because the department objectives must be aligned with the objectives of the organization, that must be synchronized to avoid any sort of deviations or variations. It outlines the company's vision, that is the future plan, course of action, the future image of the corporate for the next 5 to 10 years, what the company is going to do. And the same is reflected in the vision statements that is displayed for awareness of all the stakeholders, which will be a inspiration for the stakeholders, and it motivates for higher level of contribution, dedication towards the organization. And it also refers to the mission of the organization, that is the present status in terms of product and services that is designed, developed and marketed for the target segment for whom it is planned. And also The mission statement will help how the company is going to contribute to the society, to all the, in the interest of all the stakeholders. And it reflects also the value system the company has. The value system is set by the management. It is a guideline or the role model, a reference for others. It is a factor of motivation for all the stakeholders that relates to the reward system, equal justice to everyone, all the employees, irrespective of anything, that is caste, creed, religion, nationality, anything, equal justice to all, and also rewarding the best performers as a way of motivating and inspiring for higher level of contribution and dedication. And also it outlines the priorities of the organization, the priorities of the management, of the authority, how they want to move ahead, what is the sequence they want to follow in order to reach and achieve the targets, and also in the interest of all the stakeholders, and provides thus a roadmap for decision making, because that is a reflection about companies activities, plans, and the business operations they are conducting. And also it includes the resource allocation. The judicious decisions has to be taken for allocating the resources for conducting the business activities and operations for the whole year. And that is decided during the budget statement and budget that is prepared for each and every department. Provision. A strategic framework that it is typically includes the following components. Broadly, if we recapitulate the points which you have already discussed, first is the vision. The vision, as you know, it relates to, it is a long-term perspective, long-term orientation, and aspirations of the organization. And it reflects about the image of the organization, including where it wants to be in future. Say next 5 years, next 10 years, what is the path of the organization company has to adapt, and what is the rate of growth in a gradual manner that is planned for each and every subsequent year. That is also being reflected in the vision statement. Then next comes the concept of mission statement that is prepared by the organization. The mission statement relates to the current status, present status of the organization in terms of what is the purpose of formation of the organization, depending on the type of organization, because as you know, there are different types of organization. There are public organization, private organization, charitable organization, then non-government organization. So based on the type of organization, the purpose will vary, the priorities will vary, and it includes the carefully decided and designed product and services that it is going to provide to the society at affordable rates and widely available throughout the geographical area, and for which company has already created the awareness with periodic reminders through the mass media and through the public relation department. And the customer segment of the organization for whom it has carefully designed, that is the customer segment, and the other stakeholders, they are the shareholders of the and other stakeholders of the group, includes the financiers, includes the advisors of the organization, government, and so on. Those who are involved in the business directly or indirectly. If you see the values, the core principles that guides the organization's behavior and decision making. As I have told, the core principles are reflected, and hence it says what is the value system of the company's management in terms of encouraging the stakeholders, inspiring them by setting the example of reward mechanism for the best performers, equal justice irrespective of anything, and also the career planning for of the employees, those who are instrumental in converting the raw material to the finished product, that is converting the input to the output. So they have to be taken care, they have to be motivated, inspired for expecting higher level of dedication and contribution. Then it relates to the goals and objectives, that is the specific targets that the organization aims to set and also to achieve the same. What are the means and ways to achieve? That is through formulating the strategy, the plan of action, typically over a period of number of years. Because the company not only is sorting out the present situation, but also carefully planning the future. The strategies are the broad approach that the organization will take to achieve its goals and objectives. The key questions that is put to the company's managers are: what is the present status, and what is the destination, and how to reach the destination, and what is the appropriate time to reach. So all these are the key managerial questions that needs to be sorted out and long-term prospective interest of the organization. Hence, continuously, the efforts of the company's management is to formulate and modify the strategies based on the situation which is assessed during the periodic review that is taken time to time, and that helps to synchronize, to making the strategies relevant to which meeting the changing situation and environment that the company faces because of highly competitive environment in each and every industry. Then the tactics are the term used for specific actions or initiatives that the organizations will undertake to implement its strategies. The tactics that is the involves and includes the important decisions that is taken by the even the middle management while trying to execute the things efficiently and also keeping in view of attaining the goals, overall goals set for the entire financial year. Then the concept and term and meaning of KPI, that is termed as the key performance indicators. The KPI helps to find what is the course of action, how to move, and what are the drawbacks when we compare these performance indicators with the actual situation time to time. The metrics that the organization will use to measure its progress towards the set goals and objectives for each and every functional department and as a whole organization. So these performance indicators is a benchmark that is set which helps to know what is expected and how we should perform to achieve these targets or the benchmarks. So that is the essence of fixing the KPI by the organizations. That is a driving force and that is a benchmark. Helps guide all the stakeholders. So thank you for attending and listening to the session with passion.